Sega.
Sonic the Hedgehog is one of the most well-known video game franchises of all time. His carefree nature and fast gameplay alone managed to captivate millions of players around the entire globe, proving to everyone that the almighty Super Mario wasn't so unstoppable after all. Despite all the ups and downs that Blue Blur has gone through for 35 whole years, he always managed to stay relevant in the industry one way or another. So here's the thing. Given the special occasion, today I wanted to talk about my history with Sonic and how he, along with many others, grew to become my favorite franchise ever. 2 years ago, I made a video about this exact topic. A lot can happen since then, from improved editing skills to new events worth mentioning, so sit back and relax because we're gonna be here a while. Ready? Because here we go! Pinpointing my very first Sonic game has always been a very difficult task due to how young I was. Back then, I had 3 consoles to begin my treading around in video games. One of the first times I even saw and experienced a Sonic game was going into an electronics store and playing Sonic 4 Episode 2 on a random phone they had for exposition. I didn't manage to get past the first wall that time, but nowadays the game is a guilty pleasure of mine. I enjoy playing it on my actual phone when I feel like it. However, in recent times, I think I have managed to figure out my first Sonic game. It's the game I mainly booted up my PS2 for during the summer, and it was none other than Sonic Heroes. Yeah, I know opinions on this game have been pretty divided, and this isn't exactly the best version of the game. But do you really think I was gonna care at that age? No! I love replaying the levels over and over again, and if I got to the next level, it would be an achievement on its own. It took me until the start of the decade to finally get to the last story and beat Metal Overlord, but I had a damn good time until then. Stages like Whale Canyon or Egg Fleet, cutscenes like the intros for Team Sonic and Team Dark, and songs like What I'm Made Of made an impact on me that still lasts to this day. This can also be said for another Sonic game I used to play a lot on my Wii, Sonic Unleashed. Dims made a great choice in having the opening cutscene play before the title screen because I have not been the same ever since I saw that for the first time. Sonic Heroes showed me how playful this blue hedgehog can be, accepting Eggman's invitation to thrash his plans once again and having fun while doing so. Sonic Unleashed, on the other hand, showed me how cool and confident this guy actually is. This was also seen in the gameplay itself and just how ambitious Sonic Unleashed was at the time, despite the clear restraints the Wii version had. The day stages were fast, exciting, and always kept me on my toes for the next obstacle. And the night stages, while a huge contrast and definitely less exciting, still had the charm of their slow pace and relaxing music, despite the fact that warehouse music blasted my ears every 20 seconds or so. Both gameplays were absolutely beating me up back then. This was another game I only got to beat a few years ago, much like Heroes. And much like that game, it did not stop me from enjoying it from beginning to end. All of these games were an amazing foundation, but most importantly, introduction to the Sonic franchise. And to think I was just getting started. As I grew older and my age reached double digits, Sonic became more prominent, but not quite to the same degree as someone like Mario, mainly because I was a pretty intense Nintendo fan since I would only play on a Nintendo console, and sometimes a PS2. Because of this, I would often play a new Sonic game on Nintendo, but it wasn't right for me to enjoy Sonic on other devices. Let's start with Sonic Boom, the infamous spin-off that I thankfully never got to play any of their games as of writing this video, but did quite enjoy the show while it was airing on TV. The closest I ever got to playing Rise of Lyric was my friend getting the game as a birthday gift by another friend of mine, and yours truly, merely the friend, and felt weirdly mesmerized by its cover. This was not the Sonic I was accustomed to see on my Wii and PS2, yet something about it was drawing me in, which is a feeling I haven't forgotten to this day. Moving on to games I actually played this time, we have to talk about Sonic Forces 17 Sonic Racing. Two Sonic games that I played from beginning to end, replayed their stage from time to time, simply because I got the games on Switch, but definitely realized at the time that they were just okay. A shame, especially for Forza, since it does have redeemable features like a character creator and Infinite, a character that was pure wasted potential until recently, which was a common occurrence at the time. Other than that, nothing else to add. They were necessary evils to an extent, I guess. What I did actually enjoy a lot, and even addicted at some point, was the 2D stuff. This is where I played most of the classic Sonic games thanks to their mobile ports, where I really got to know Sonic's roots and humble beginnings. I found myself with classics that still hold up to this day, and prove why Sonic was a revolution in the industry to begin with, even though some did it better than others. Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 are games that I still come back to when I get the chance, with the latter the one I remember playing the most. I played those so much that I now ended up enjoying infamous sections like Labyrinth Zone or the Death Robot, but C never quite landed for me. I understand what it's aiming for. Its surrealistic art style is gorgeous, and I have completed the game with all the generators and time stones. Yet it's a game that still sort of confuses me when I play it, and I don't quite enjoy its exploration aspect, something I think future Sonics did better. Games like Sonic Mania and Sonic Generations, the 3DS version because again, Nintendo fan, were the games I've powered more hours into during this time. It's not like they're doing something brand new, innovative, and crazy. No, it's the same classic and boost gameplay previous games were doing. Both of them are, at their core, celebrations of Sonic's history, but they're so effective at what they do and fun to play that it's no surprise I got hooked and still play it to this day. It got to the point where I was able to beat classic Sonic's Green Hill in just 23 seconds. That was my peak. I've never gotten to that height ever again. However, the one place I constantly saw Sonic and that I fondly remember the most was on YouTube. This was one of the main reasons why I couldn't get rid of Sonic at all. He was everywhere. This was where I got introduced to the Sonic fandom, at a time where they were, and still are, insane. Fortunately, I didn't get to experience the slide that was going on during the 2010s, which is a relief. I wouldn't wish that on any other franchise they were to go through that. I wouldn't change the fact that these videos were awesome and became instant classics for us that grew up watching that era of Sonic YouTube. By this point, the franchise remained one of my favorites by far, but never had what was necessary to become the absolute favorite. Because of its current situation, I enjoyed Mario games way more, and felt less confident to admit that I liked Sonic in the public. Thankfully for Sonic, that would change pretty soon. The start of the 2020 seemed promising for my relationship with the franchise. I went to see Sonic on the big screen with my best friend and my dad. Still a fun watch over the years, and the precedent it sent towards future video game adaptations cannot be forgotten. Strangely, that's the only major Sonic related thing I had, outside of borrowing my friend's copy of Sonic Colors. While I did end up 100% of the game and it didn't entertain me, it ended up being just another Sonic game and that's it. So how do I fill in the void? By looking deeper into another aspect the Sonic community shines through. Fan games. I went through every fan-made adventure my computer at the time was able to handle, even if they had to be played in slow motion, like Sonic GT, which is probably my favorite Sonic fan game of all time, because of its fast-paced movement. Future fan games I've seen have tried this gameplay style and they're also really good, but to me, no one can quite top GT, something about it just clicks for me. Sonic 3 Air was the only chance I could ever possibly have at the time to finally play this classic masterpiece at its best non-official version, and it did not disappoint in the slightest. You can easily make a point for either 3 and Knuckles and Mania for being the best classic Sonic game of all time. Finally, there's Sonic Blast 2. Despite it being an insanely modified version of Doom, and it not feeling exactly like a Sonic game, SRB2 to me is still the best Sonic fan game of all time, and I still wait in anticipation for the next big update. But 2021 gave me even more reasons to love Sonic even more, and make it my favorite franchise of all time. Being at the premiere for one of Sonic's best moments in all of its history was truly something else. I will never forget those 2 hours where I heard brand new renditions of my favorite songs in the franchise. At a time where Sonic's reputation from the 2010s was beginning to heal and transform into something new. The concert made me remember why I love Sonic so much, but what came after is what established the franchise at the peak of the mountain. Two trailers, one movie, one game. That was all I needed. After the Game Awards, 2022 became a year of anticipation for me. The second Sonic movie was a major improvement from the first one, and despite the fact YouTube spoiled the climax and post-credits, it still became one of my favorite movies of all time. After that, it was hype season for Sonic Frontiers. Sonic Origins and Sonic Prime, while they served their function over time, immediately became fodder for the big event. I counted the days for the game to come out, and when I finally got my hands on it, I was satisfied the whole way through. The ambience of the music, a narrative that actually tried to tell a story, take itself seriously, and expand the lore, a cast of characters mostly back in their element, and a new addition that hit the landing. And what's this? A gameplay that requires me to actually press more than one button, and boss fights that instantly became franchise staples? I never thought I'd saw the day. Yes, Frontiers is not perfect and it has flaws, but all of that fades away when I boot up the game and start running around the Starfall Islands. I knew it said something special when I saw Sonic stand in front of Kronos Island and no one's getting me off that boat. If a 7 out of 10 game is making me feel this way, I can only imagine what's going to happen for the next big Sonic game. Which leads us to now. Frontiers was the key to not only saving Sonic, but it was also the thing that managed to make me prefer Sonic over someone like Mario. It truly is a game I find extremely special and worthy to be among my favorite games of all time, simply because of what it means to me. Being a Sonic fan used to be hard, but now we're at a time where we constantly get Sonic content in any media or form, and now the franchise has hit its highest point since the 90s. Since I uploaded the original video, a lot more Sonic stuff has been announced and released. While some of it hasn't been super convincing for one reason or another, like Sonic Dream Team and Sonic Rumble, generally most of it has been from decent to actually pretty good, like Sonic Superstars and Sonic Racing Crossroads. There were also the surprises, like the chaotic case files, the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, and especially, coming from the fans, Sonic Unleashed Recompiled, which allowed me to finally play the best version of Unleashed I anticipated for a decade and a half. And of course, there's the exceptional stuff, being Sonic Eternal Generations and Sonic Movie 3, which quickly surpassed the previous movie and became my new favorite video game adaptation, which is again, not a high bar, not to mention the fact that I've been able to play more older and iconic Sonic games like the first two Sonic Riders games, and the Sonic Adventure Duology to name a few. Games that, while they haven't aged the best, still live up to this day in the memories of a lot of fans. Sonic has been doing exactly that for 35 years, a rare feat for a lot of franchises out there, and I hope it stays that way for many more years to come. Sonic taught me how cool going fast and feeling free is, the power that comes from the friendships I've made along the way, and how far working as a team can go. But most importantly, that I can overcome any obstacle or adversity if I do my best with a smile on my face. And I know that, despite the highs and lows, despite the polish of the final product, despite its reputation, I'll keep following Sonic and run alongside him. Because that is how I got to know Sonic the Hedgehog, and I do not regret it in the slightest. How about you? How did you get to know Sonic?